Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine. It's time for our Happy Hauntings sketch with me. We are going to be using papers from our Happy Hauntings pack. And I picked this gorgeous full moon page as the base of my layout I'm going to be putting together today. And this is the sketch I'm going to be working from today. It is from September 2021. And so I'm mixing it up a little bit because I didn't want to do two pictures side by side on my layout, because I really wanted to highlight our gorgeous full moon on this page. And you'll see where we're going to go with this here in just a moment. I have also pulled out my Bats and Stars Border Maker cartridge. I've already gone ahead and done the punching and the cutting on most of the pieces that are going onto the sketch. I'm under a little bit of a time crunch in filming this one, so I went ahead and pre-cut a lot of my pieces. I went ahead and I took the starry page and I cut a 3" by 12" section off of it, and then I just put it on my trimmer and I cut it diagonally. Well, when I went to cut it diagonally, and like I said, I'm under a bit of a time crunch, if you actually cut it the opposite way, that's the way it is in the actual sketch. So, you know, what do I say? Sketches are kind of like recipes. They're guides. You can kind of just do what works for you. And so, of course, I'm just going to go ahead and go with it because, you know, I'm not going to redo the cutting, because that way we'll have paper for our scrap cards. I'm just going to stick a little bit of repositionable at the point at the end. And on the sketch, it does kind of show a little bit of a thicker end, but I honestly just wanted to go ahead and just make it nice and easy on myself. Just cut it corner to corner. It's easy, it's quick. And so that's what I did. If you want to go ahead and make yours a little bit wider at the end and not as pointy, you know, it's your world. It's your page. You do what you want. But for me, I'm all about trying to be kind and be easy to myself here. Put together a beautiful page without too much of a headache, too much math, or any of that. So what I've also done on here, I cut two, hang on, let me go ahead and stick these over here. You can see I have two borders that I punched using my Bat and Star Border Maker, and I cut it at 1 1/8", which is a little bit more unusual for me, but I had cut it at 1 inch for my Halloween tag, which is in my gift bag video. And you can see I just wanted just a little bit more for this page, so that extra little 1/8 of an inch is going to help us out. And who knows, we might see that 1 inch strip on our cards later, because we're also going to have a little bit of extra coming off of here as well. So oh, I forgot to show you all the other pages I was using. This one I punched from our black shimmer. So we had the star page that I cut the 3" from the 3" by 12 and put at the top and the bottom here. I used the black shimmer cardstock for punching my Bats and Stars Border Maker. And then I also used this Bat page, which had the white linen on the back, for my mats that are going to be for my photos and for my journal box. So I also have pulled out this other Bat embellishment that is in our laser cut embellishment pack. You can see it's a little bit lighter on one side than on the other. All of our embellishments are usually dual colored. Usually a little more dramatic difference, but you know, with bats, it's probably just as well. So I am going to go ahead and run my bats along the star at an angle, and then we're going to take the microtip scissors and just trim it where it is. So using my repositionable tape and my parchment board, I'm going to go ahead and get some tape on here, and we'll go ahead and get some tape on the top as well, because I wanted it to actually really stand out. And I liked here where we get on this bottom end here, I'm kind of watching, you see where this little bat still lands on the page, but this big bat is off of it. So that's kind of where I'm angling, and it's going to kind of cut through the bat on this other end. Let me hold it closer to the camera so y'all can see it a little bit. Oops, a little bit better. Lost my one on the top because of course it's not stuck down yet. But here I'll put my hand behind it as well. So there you can see where our little bat is. You can see the designer paper coming through behind it, and the large one is not. So that's kind of where I targeted putting it along there. And here we go with our other one. I was in a class the other day and someone made the observation that we always tend to flip over our cardstock, which really isn't necessary, but I think so much of it is habit because we're so used to wanting one side or the other of the designer paper. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and on this side. Well, yeah, I guess we don't quite reach the end on the other one. So this one, I'm going to get the large bat on the page again. This time, well, instead of the small bat, we're getting a large bat on. And then on this end, we're going through a couple of them again. So here's this end. And here we have the entire large bat here on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my microtip scissors. I'm going to flip my page over, and we're just going to go ahead and cut these off, and I'm going to set them aside kind of with the sticky side up. And like I said, these might show up on our scrap card. I'm not sure yet. And I might use my piece I had left over from my tag the other day as well. But we'll see. I don't know yet. I'm actually really eyeing this print here with the roses too. That's really fun, but that might not look right with the bats on it. We'll see. Well, we actually won't be having this on our card because this is an entire sheet we're using for our base, so we won't have that, but I'll have to see what's on the back side of our other pages coming up. There we go. We're going to set that aside. Oops. Okay. So now, moving on here, I want my other bats to go across kind of through the moon. Let me see here. I'm going to flip it over and just double check. Doesn't matter which way our bats are going, maybe not, but I kind of like them going in the same direction as our other bats. So I'm going to go ahead and actually flip this over. Again, using my repositionable tape and my parchment board. And we're going to go ahead and put this through the middle of our page, which is kind of off sketch as well, I guess, if you will, but come on, it's Halloween. We're got to have a little bit of extra fun here. If it's not fun, what's the point of doing it, right? Okay, so here, this is where I was saying off sketch a little bit. But then again, who knew we were going to have this gorgeous full moon in the middle of this page? So here are my bat pieces that I've cut. I did a smaller mat than what I typically do. You all know I really like my 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat, so that way I can just pop my pictures onto it. But with the page I'm using here and just with the way the sketch was, I knew that wasn't going to be possible, so I did 3 by 5. I also made a note that on this layout, the paper is directional. So our bats do go certain ways here. So I've targeted this way. And this one's kind of going to angle a little bit here. And just to make sure our bats are going the right direction. So here you go, you can see I was very careful when I was cutting my paper. And then I also, from what was kind of left from cutting these 3x5 pieces, I had an extra piece that was, okay, I didn't write down the right dimension, did I? Well, yes, I did. Okay, so this one is 4x3. Something's 4x3. Hang on one second. Oh, this is 2. This one's 2x4. And this is my 3x1.5. Okay, so I have a 2x4 and a 3x1.5. And then this is probably my 4" by 3" that I had written down here. But I decided to use this kind of as an extra photo mat. So forgive me for that one. Usually I'm pretty good about making my notes on my pages, but I thought, you know, let's add where instead of doing all these ovals, I actually thought about creating a bat for the page, which I've done in the past, but I thought that would just be a little bit too much to do tonight. So instead I am going to use a few of our awesome stickers on this layout. And I created this mini journal box here, and you can either put this, this was another scrap from one of our index sheets, or you can use our lined paper, or you can choose to not put any. I'm actually going to angle this one just a little bit. Oh, let me get that up. Where's my multi-purpose tool? Here it is. Okay, let me get this up a minute because I'm covering part of my moon and that's the whole focus. Well, it's not the whole focus. Your pictures are going to be the focus of the page, but I really kind of want to, there we go. Just put that a little bit above. So, okay. Anyways, so you can put this on. You can choose to not put it on. I also have eyed one of our stickers. Let's see. I got that on. I didn't get these on. That's what happens. I got talking, got myself distracted just a little bit. So here is our 3x5 down here. And here is our other one. Okay, so now, now I can talk about the stickers a minute. So I saw this really awesome Eek sticker. And I thought, wouldn't that be cool to put in there? And then I thought, well, no, because then I wouldn't have anywhere to journal. So the Eek is going to go over here. And I am going to grab a couple of our small foam squares to put it on. And if I hadn't put the box for journaling in here, I think the Eek probably would look kind of cool on top of the bats. The coloring just works really well. So it's up to you. I always try to give you all a couple of extra ideas for when you go to put your pages together. But instead actually, let's put our Eek up here. And then we have these 3 fantastic bats right here. So we can have one going up this way, and then these other 2 just kind of flapping around on our page a bit. And there we go. I think I'm going to put this one down here. And there you have it. Our Haunted Happenings sketch with me is done. We have our, so you can see where they did on the sketch have some of the embellishments up in where the wider part of the band was. So I did follow that a bit. And then I added a couple extra through the middle, I think just because it fit this page nicely. I have room for my pictures, and I could even add some extra journaling down here if I wanted to. I could grab out my white chalk pen and use that even in this black section and maybe draw my own little bat or something else. But here we go. here we go. Here it is. How is that for a super awesome, spooky Halloween-ish page? Maybe with the kids trick-or-treating, or I don't know. Wonder if you even go to a bat conservation place, take pictures of bats. You could add a few interesting, really interesting bat pictures. We recently went to Carlsbad Caverns and watched the bats come out at night, and it was really quite the spectacle. So you just never know what types of pictures might work on a page like this. All right, I will be back with y'all in a minute to do our scrap card. Remember how I told you all that we might use the 1-inch scrap that was left from our tag? I think we are. I went ahead and I'm flipping over the paper with the stars on it to give us this fun orange Halloween print with just all kinds of spider webs and hats and a little broomstick. I did attempt to piece together our scraps that we cut off of the other layout. These might wind up on here, but I'm thinking it probably isn't. We're gonna see what happens. So let me go ahead and get the base stuck on. I grabbed one of our blank cards from our card kits. It's our standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And, oops, trying to get away from me here. Always double check to make sure you're working on your card in the direction that you want it to open. It just makes life easier. And, whoops, if I can actually get this on straight here. There we go. And almost. There you go. Okay. Whew. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some, we're going to run this from one end to the other of this card as well, giving us that banner look of sorts. There we go. And I kind of noticed where, if I get it over just a little bit more, the little bat can be on and the star can be on. I'm going to have to cut just a little bit off of that end, but not much. And on this end, we can also get this star on. So, oops, straighten that out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, grabbing my scissors again. My microchip scissors. Here we go. I've already flipped my card over, so I'm just gonna grab these little edges that are sticking off on this one side. And honestly, those are gonna be trash. I know y'all have seen me use some small pieces, but you know, like I said, it's okay to get rid of a scrap from time to time. If you want to use it somewhere else, more power to ya. Go for it. And we have another piece of bats still that can be used for something else. Those bats are going on forever. So I also eyed this Beware sticker on our sticker sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more of our foam squares. Just kind of thought this would be fun, that if you send this to somebody with this Beware on it, you know, they're probably going to think that you're sending a trick. But, you know, send them a treat. Send them a gift card for one of their favorite restaurants, or treat them to a cup of coffee, you know. Turn it into a treat. It doesn't have to be a trick. Although I guess if your friends are used to you tricking them, that is your choice, I guess. So we have that there, and then I thought, you know, let's add the little black cat. I know black cats get a bad rap, but it's so adorable. But I guess it kind of goes along with our watch out for what might be inside of this card. So that's it. I can't believe we put together a card very quickly and efficiently this time. It really was just mostly using up this one scrap, so I do still have some extra pieces that I can use. Come up with some more ideas. Who knows, they might get filmed. They might wind up in one of the virtual crop sketches coming up. We shall see. Stay tuned for that. And here is my page again. So there's the close-up of the card with our fantastic black shimmer bats and stars border maker punched out, or border punched out, and our page again with our bats as well. So much fun. I will have the sketch linked in the description box below. Here's a close-up just in case you want to get a screenshot of the dimensions. I apologize for missing that one dimension on the journal box, but pretty easy to make up, and at least I had the one for the inside piece. Until next time.